Here we go. Thank you guys for joining us today, RJ Talk. I'm Jose.
I'm Raph. You guys make sure that you guys are following us on our TikTok, our Instagram. Make sure you guys are subscribing to our YouTube channel. It means a lot to us.
Yeah.
So we typically what this channel has been about is about building a brotherhood, building that community. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different, where we're gonna talk about the type of people that you don't want in your community, in your tight circle. So we're gonna list off 5 different traits that you and it's okay to have some of these traits, but you don't want people that have too much of these certain traits. That could just get messy,
Yeah, there's just some things that obviously in friends or brotherhood that you just don't want or need in your circle.
Right.
I believe that people do come in your life for specific reasons, but these ones try to stay away from. At least for us,
yeah,
we try to stay away from these.
Yeah, I mean, again, people can be, a little bit angry, a little bit depressed, a little bit jealous, a little bit whatever the trait is. It's okay to have a little bit. We're only humans. We're normal. But if they have a little bit too much of this trait, then you kind of just really want to stay away from them. You want to start off with the first one?
Sure. Yeah. So one of the traits that we believe, or I actually believe, is just dishonest.
Yeah.
A dishonest person, and this has a big umbrella, right, of what can go into dishonest. So dishonest, unloyal. For example, me, when I think of dishonesty, I do think of loyalness. Having that friend that's not loyal is just not worth the trouble.
Absolutely, man. Why are you going to be friends with someone who's going to stab you in the back?
Yeah.
Someone that doesn't want things in your best interest,
Yeah.
There's just no point in having those people around,
Mm-hmm.
Part of being a friend is, being there for each other and being a little selfless, I want to see you grow, you want to see me grow. And that's what it is. So just kind of having that dishonesty, someone who's going to lie to you, who's going to, backstab you, it's definitely not someone you want in your circle at all.
Not just that, like I want someone who backs me up when I'm not there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll hear me when I talk about my certain friends. Like, obviously, we have 2 different types of friends.
Yeah.
But I talk highly of all my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some truth in it too, like overhyping them, but
Yeah.
I'm still gonna stay loyal to my friends, whether or not like I don't come to an agreement with what you say, right? But I'm still loyal to you in a sense of like I know his morals, I know his
Mm-hmm.
beliefs. Like that's my dog,
Exactly.
We're gonna have disagreements,
Yeah.
100%. But that's when that loyalty comes into place, or that honesty, right? Being honest. Like I've been honest with you, you've been honest with me. There's been situations where I believe our loyalness has been tested before.
Oh, 100%.
And I think we've come out in the positive end where.
Yeah.
That's why we're here now, trying to create a podcast that touches you guys. And so to me, that's why, for me, that's
I mean, you hinted at it, bro. Like, it's us having each other's back, like when we're not in the same room with each other, and there's other people around, the things that we say about each other,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be honest with it, but at the same time, it's not disrespect at all. It's not, if people ask me, hey, how's Jose doing? Oh, he's been a little funk, but, I think he's working through it. Or, he's doing great. He's about to have a kid. He just had his baby shower. He's doing great. But as far as, like, me talking shit, like, you're not going to find me doing that.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll joke around. Sometimes if I go to the house, I'm going, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But...
Well, people know. People know that's how we get along, though,
But
right?
it's all jokes. I'm like, fuck that guy. I was like, nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I just haven't talked to him in like 2 days. But I think he's doing good, I'll keep up with your stories or, other friends' stories. Like, I'm like, they're doing fine, But there is those jokes, like, well, fuck that puto. Like, it's just sometimes people can come out of communication, right?
Yeah.
Or communication, but there's still that loyalness, that tight, that bond, that like, it's like glue. You know? I think.
But I think another part of the dishonesty part is, having someone who's not true to their word, the flakiness, they say they're going to be there for you, but they're not.
I hate motherfuckers like that. God damn. You overpromise. I can't say I hate, because I'm kind of like that too. But I'll overpromise in the sense of like I'll double book.
But but I know at the end of the day, like, you're gonna be there for me, right? Like kind of when you texted me last week, hey, you're gonna come to the baby shower. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I'm gonna come to this shit. Why are you fucking asking me?
Yeah, it's just a confirmation.
but you knew I was gonna show up.
Yeah.
That kind of hurt, you know.
But
No,
you didn't know what time it was at. I said 12. You know, buddy tells me, that motherfucker said he was gonna be there at 4. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, but I left work early though.
You
I
did.
left work
You
early
did. You should.
to show up
Yeah, you should
last
also.
minute, but you know, I made it happen.
But yeah, that right, dishonesty, unloyal,
Yeah.
flaky, like those are all just traits that I tend to stay away from because I'm just I'm loyal to the core.
Yeah.
You know, if like actually I just got hit up by an old friend. When I mean old friend, I mean right out of high school and college.
Okay.
One of these guys told us, "Hey, do you want to go to a camp, a UCLA camp?" And I was like, "Yeah, dope. Let's go to UCLA camp." Come to find out, I'm going to a church camp. But it was dope, dude. It was the FCA, Future Christian Athletes or Fellowship, or something like that. So I'm like, man, what kind of whack ass shit is this, you know? But then you go in there, and, bro, it was the time of my life.
Really?
They put you to the test, like you physically.
Yeah.
Like running, doing cardio, like doing all sorts of things. But anyways, we were in a group of 5, right? Those 5 guys were really cool. You dormed, whatever, and you just stayed there. It was cool. But this specific guy, me and him kind of like bonded over there.
Right.
Because he came from a very troubled past. I came from a troubled past. And we're like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, this is all like Christians.
This isn't the guy who
like,
invited you?
No.
Okay.
This, you don't even know about
you
this guy.
met him there?
I met him there.
Okay.
And we've always just stayed in touch, like long distance, like just in touch. Because me and him just bonded over there. Like, dude, he told me his backstory, I told him mine. I'm like, what are we doing here? These are all perfect Christians. Like, what are we doing here? You know, that was the point. But just recently he goes, hey, dude, what's up? Like, how you been? I'm like, dude, like, what's cracking? This dude was like from Norco, went to Texas. Now he's in Utah. And he lived in Austin for a little bit.
Nice.
When I was trying to move out there, he was just like, dude, get a job. I'll get you an interview and stuff like that. And it was cool to like, I don't want to say loyal because like we're not like best buds, right? But that initial like bond that we created, like it was bro, much love. Hope everything's going good for you. If you ever need anything, let me know.
It doesn't have to be like the, you know, talk to each other every day type of thing. It's you know, when we see each other, we'll catch up and we'll act like, you know, we just saw each other yesterday, you know?
Yeah.
That type of thing. But at the end of the day, I still want what's best for you and I hope you're doing good.
100%, dude. And you know how crazy it is to like hear that from someone? Like, obviously I hear from you and I'm grateful. I hear from other friends and I'm grateful. But hearing it from someone who you haven't spoken to in a long time, it's like, hey, dude, this reminded me of you the other day, and I just hope you're doing great. And all that. I was like, damn,
it's
bro.
different. It is different because it's like you don't expect you to be on their mind, you know, but you are, and like it's surprising, but it's cool, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, that kind of like how you were saying, like, or we were saying, like, the loyal. That's just.
But that's what you want, you know. You don't want those people who are selfish again, who are selfish, greedy, you know, who kind of just use you for certain things, you know. For whatever it may be, whether it's, you know, you have an in at a different group that they're trying to get into, or, you know, a job that they're trying to get. There's always people like that that are just trying to get something out of you. They're not really looking out for you.
So what would you say, and I know you touched on it a little bit, what would you say your second trait is?
Second. Let me see. I think know-it-alls, dude. Know-it-alls are so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But I can back my shit up. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's again,
no, I know
it's a stubbornness of them being super close-minded that they can't be wrong. Like it's you know that they've never been wrong before in their life, and you know they're so annoying about it. I just can't stand it, you know.
Yeah, know-it-alls, and fuck, dude, I've seen them time and time again. Like they think they're right, just like I said. You hit on the nose. They're super stubborn. They want it done their way or the highway. Kind of like how when I used to go out, dude. I used to go out party all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I was a party animal. Then you run into these know-it-alls, you're just like, man, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No fucking Revolucion isn't the best fucking bar in Fullerton. no, fucking, what's that other one? JP23 is not the best bar on Fullerton. Like, no, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to just be free.
Yeah.
Like, you go out and you go out with your friends, and you always have that one friend. That's why I say like you're a know-it-all, but we always have that one friend that kind of like keeps everything like together.
Uh-huh.
This is what we're here for. This is what we're doing. Right? You kind of have everything Structured. Yeah, you're that guy. You're that guy. For me, well, everything's a little more structured. I'm a little more like, you know, I'll fly over here.
You're the yes man.
Yeah, I'm a yes man. Yeah, like, I'll do it anyhow.
That's why I like traveling with you, because like, hey, you want to do this? Sure.
Sure.
We're gonna have to wake up at 5 in the morning. Fuck it. And then we have to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning after we go to the bars. Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
But like those know-it-alls kill that vibe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like if you were just to be like, no, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this. Like, bro, like no, I don't want to. You know?
Yeah.
Like I know sometimes like when we went to Mexico, you're like, we're gonna do this and this. I was like, can I take a nap in between? And we're just like, all right, take a nap in between. But we did what was structured, right? But then it comes down to like even when we have different conversations, you and I sometimes talk about politics. Not that we know a lot about politics.
Yeah.
Not that we know a lot about politics. Sorry, but we talk about politics and we're just like, I could disagree, you could disagree, but you're not the type to like, yeah, this is it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
No. We stay open minded.
yeah.
We're not, you know, like, hey, I believe this and this is the way it should be, you know, like, no,
Mhm.
we're okay. There's some gray area in between, you know. There's,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's, you know, we stay open to, we could be wrong, you know.
Mhm.
Like, I think I'm right. I think I'm right.
Yeah.
But there's that small chance I could be wrong. And
Mhm.
I'll listen. I'll hear you out.
Yeah.
And if you can change my mind, then you know, cool. But if not, then you know,
Yeah.
I still think I'm right.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I just I hate know-it-alls.
Yeah.
Even people, I mean, even nowadays, social media, right? It gives us this beautiful platform to speak,
Uh-huh.
right? But then you got a lot of people that's just like, oh, like, you guys ain't talking, you guys aren't shit, like, like, we know better,
Yeah.
you know, you're uneducated, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Cool.
Educate us.
Yeah.
You know
Tell
what I mean?
me. Did I miss something? Go ahead. Tell me. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm,
like-
cool. I'm open minded to it. You know.
Yeah.
Did I
that's
say
what I
something
mean.
wrong? Like, correct me. Let me open my mind. You know.
Like, I have had to be, I'm so open-minded to the sense where, like, I'll have conversations with people that I disagree with, and I'm just like, okay, I see your point of view.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but this is just the way I think.
Yeah.
You know, not personal against you, whatever. You know, because nowadays you can say something real sensitive, and it goes, "Oh, well, it's because he's a man," or "Oh, it's because he's Mr. Tate." You know, just shut the fuck up, bro.
Mr. Tate. I love
Chill,
Mr. Tate, bro.
Yeah, but just because you love him, right? It doesn't mean like.
There's gonna be people shitting on me because I love
Yeah,
him.
yeah, it's like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He probably
Yeah.
slaps his women. No,
Misogynist.
like no, it's not like that. But
Yeah, no, but a lot of the shit he says, you know, I fuck with, you know, like it's,
Yeah.
it's, I think he's trying to build men, and that's what we need, you know. I think the men got so soft, and now I think we're trying to get our masculinity back, you know, and I think he's doing his part in helping men do that.
that's on another note, though. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
I do agree. But that's on another note.
Yeah,
'cause-
yeah. Let's not get into that. We can do a whole episode on that.
Yeah, we definitely can. I got some juice on that too. But anyways, but yeah, you know, just those know-it-all people that think that they're always right. It's just you don't want those in your corner.
Mhm.
You don't, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to bounce off ideas.
Right.
Like, what makes you better? What makes me better? Maybe this way works. Remember, even just the other day, we were talking about managing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I challenged you. I was like, "Well, you sure you handled that correctly?" No, and I looked at it. I was like, "Yeah, maybe he's right. Like,
Yeah.
how would I have handled it? You know?" And it makes me think, like, you know, should I handle it that way? Should I not? Like, it makes me think of
Yeah.
that opportunity, right? Because I could just be like, "Nah, fucking, you're wrong."
Yeah,
What
there's
do you
different
think
ways to handle it about it, right?
Yeah.
It's not always just like, there's this way, you should have gone about this way only. Like, there's so many different scenarios, so
Yeah.
many different things that factor into the decisions that we make. At the
Yeah.
time, we may think that we're making the best decision.
Yeah.
We look back on it and you're like, oh, okay, I could have handled that a little bit different, you know?
Mhm. And the know-it-alls will always judge you.
Oh, they're like, no, I was right, nah.
Yeah.
You know?
They'll always say they're right. They'll always. It's just not fun to have in your corner.
No, they're annoying as fuck.
Now, mine is on the complete opposite too. Hype monsters. People that just hype everything. They can fucking hype a day at the beach.
Yeah.
You know, like going out. Oh, hey, let's go to this mad party. There's a mad block party going on. What you mean? Oh, it's gonna be big. Yeah, it's gonna be huge. You're just like, all right, let's do it. Show up, bro. It's like 3 fucking people. It's all dudes, you know. You're just like,
Tíos.
what the fuck is this, dude?
Los tíos de primo.
I remember one time, not that he was a bad friend, but he hyped this whole thing up, right? He goes, "Hey, dude, let's go to this carnival." And I was like, "Carnival?"
Okay.
I was like, "All right, I'm down, dude." He goes, "Dude, there's gonna be mad food. It's gonna be a blast, dude." I was like, "Carnival? Cool. I haven't been to a carnival in a long ass time." Right? We had to buy tickets, the $50 tickets.
Damn.
So, shoot the money, or I think I shot the money. I don't even remember. But I pull up, dude. Tell me why. I see all these Vietnamese people. All Vietnamese people. I'm like, what am I doing here? And I walk in and I'm like, hey, this is a carnival you're talking about? He goes, turns out it's a celebration of life.
Wait! And they had to pay $50?
Bro, I had to pay for because they were trying to
Oh,
fundraise.
fundraise.
I was like, what the fuck, bro?
How did you even hear about this?
Because he works with the guy. Bro, I was like, I pull up and I dress nice because he goes, I should have known. Kind of like how when I told you, oh, this Drake concert.
I was about to bring that up right now.
But he goes, yeah, you gotta dress nice though. Why the fuck you have to dress nice for a carnival? I was like, all right, nice little pink dress shirt, black slacks. And I pull up, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It was like mi tita and my tito. Like, I don't even know how to speak your language, bro. Like,
Were there still carnival rides?
no, bro, it was like a quinceañera. I'm telling you, it's like a celebration of life.
Damn.
And
A carnival? Where the fuck did he get carnival from?
because that's what the guy had said. And you know me, you know how I'm a yes guy. So
Yeah.
I ended up popping in the party. I'm like, all right, bro. I started talking to these old Vietnamese ladies and just like hitting on them.
Yeah.
You know, they're just older and they knew.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, you're so nice. And I was just like, yeah, you want to go dance? And then they didn't. We ended up going to a group and they're like, I bet you won't dance with any of the chicks here. I'm like, I don't even know. how to speak
It's
their
a language
language.
of life, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what
This is
this
what we're
is.
trying to
Sure.
get bitches.
I was like, challenge accepted.
Damn.
So I went around. I was like, hey, what's the next one? But I started.
where your uncle died. Back that
But-
shit up.
But he hyped it up. He hyped it up way more than it was supposed to be. Luckily, I'm just, you know how I am. I'm easygoing and
Yeah,
just
you go
get
with
along
the
with
flow.
anybody. But people like that though, sometimes they hype the little shit, and you're just like, bro, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
They can hype pieces like the problems, but it's not that big of a problem.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's just a big red flag. You try to hype stuff up. If you and I are gonna hang out, let's go to the bar. Cool, it's gonna be chill, it's gonna be big. Nah, we're just gonna chill. All right, cool. If it ends up becoming something like
Yeah. I'm the type to,
Bro.
under promise and over deliver, dude.
hangover,
I'd rather
type
do that
shit,
100%. I hate over promising
Yeah.
shit. I hate being that person like, oh, you said it was gonna be this, huh? You know, over here
Jokes
with my
on you.
tail tucked between my legs.
Yeah,
Awkward.
yeah. Like I'm all about being like hyped about something. Like I mean, the Drake concert was cool.
Dude, that was that turned out to be a good night though, but I knew it was too good to be true, bro. Yeah, bro, there's a Drake concert, $10 to get in. I was like, really? Like $10? Like this guy really thinks it is? But I gave you the benefit of the doubt. We still had a good time though, but
That was my first dance battle.
I remember that, dude.
That was when I
remember
was
that.
starting to open up.
That was the start of you dropping it down low everywhere we went.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that's how we used to like get crowds going, huh? You would be the one
I
start that
just
dance
right in
circle
the
and
middle.
stuff like that, go in
I
the
started
middle.
moving everyone. Hey, let me show you
Yeah.
how the sprinkler works. You know. No, but that was
Damn.
wild,
And that's how we fucked up our knees. Nah,
dude. Probably.
dude, I can't get down no more.
I know.
Shit.
Heck no, I'll dance a little 1-2 step, 1-2 step.
Yeah.
But just overhypers like that, just it just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm more mellow now. I mean, maybe when I was younger, but like all you guys that are close to me, like you guys aren't overhypers either.
Yeah.
My buddy just
I mean,
made a big decision in his life, and you know he's not an overhyper. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just did it. You know.
Yeah, I try to stay level-headed. You know, I don't even get hyped about things when like people bring things to my attention. You know, I'm like, okay, like
Yeah.
that's cool. Like,
Like the time you bought your truck, you were just so nonchalant. Yeah, look, I just bought a truck. Like you were happy about it, but it wasn't like.
I don't want to overhype it.
And
Yeah,
I was just like, bro, you bought a truck.
yeah.
Where the
Yeah.
truck? Where the Budweiser's at? You know, like, boy, I was sick as fuck.
Yeah,
Wow.
but now we started off doing everything in that truck right afterwards. Huh?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
What's another one that you think is a?
The Heike haters, dude. Number 4, the Heike haters. People who just hit on everything. Dude.
Everything.
Like, for example, you could have been like, dude, that's not a TRD Pro. Like,
Yeah,
you know, people be like that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you got a truck, but that's not a TRD Pro, dude.
yeah.
Oh, you got a motorcycle? An R7? That's not an R1, dude. You know? People be hating about every little thing. That's
Yeah.
annoying. Like, it's like, dude, just be happy for your people, you know? Like,
Yeah,
baby steps. Baby steps are still steps, you know? Why are
100%.
you going to be hating on people?
100%. Just like, I mean, yeah, you hit that one on the nose. To me, when you pulled up in that truck, I saw it for what it was. It was a truck.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, bro, I want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not in a jealousy type. I was like, damn, my boy got that.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, that one, and still to this day, I don't got it. But you know, it's one of those things where you look at it, I'm like, damn, this fool got a truck, such a nice truck. You know, like you let me borrow it a couple times. I'm like, damn, dude. You know,
Like, it feels cool.
It is. It feels cool. I mean, I'm all about hyping my people up, right? But he just got country club status. And
Yeah.
that motherfucker's like, yeah, it's your country club. I'm like, bro, that's sick. And it doesn't even come in a place where like, bougie ass motherfucker, you know? For me, it's more like, that's dope, dude.
Yeah.
You just made a life choice. You want to be a country club member. You're going to be eating with all them white folks, you know?
And it's
talking
cool.
about-
It's cool because like it's different, you know. It's unheard of. So
100%.
it's like good for him, you know. Like who are we to just knock him down for that? You know, that's
Yeah.
dope. You know, we're happy for him. Like we
100%.
want our boys to succeed. You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, some people just really don't want to see you do that, man.
And that's a sad part of reality. Like, even now, you see
Like-
it more with social media.
Right.
People just hate it.
Yeah.
Hating because you open up a podcast, hating because you go and start up a business,
Yeah.
hating because they think you're doing so like well or whatever.
And sometimes it's like the people closest to you, man,
Bro.
and that hurts. You know, but it is what it is. You know, it's
yeah.
you know, like have you had any like hate towards the podcast?
Nah, not directly, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
I mean, for me, it wasn't necessarily hate, because like I didn't see it as hate, but I had a coworker who came up to me like as soon as we started it, she's like, she comes up to me, she's like, "Who are you to start a podcast?" You know, like I was like, "God damn, dude, like really, like thanks for the support," you know. But no, she ends up like watching that one episode that we talked about relationships, stuff like that. She loved it, but
Yeah.
you know, now she's like talks about it a lot. You know, she's always giving me ideas, but
Yeah.
you know, that first initial comment of like, "Who are you to start a podcast?" You know, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. But you know, it is what it is. Like I didn't take it deep. But people, there's always people that are gonna be hating on you. Sometimes the people closest to you, you know.
Yeah. The hate, and then you don't want those type of people around you because they just bring you down.
Yeah.
Because at some point, like even as much as you try not to let it bother you, it'll bother you eventually.
It's just a
Like if I
negativity,
would,
bro.
like if I would have been like, oh, it's not a cheerleader pro, oh, it's not a cheerleader pro. At first, you'd probably be like, oh, whatever, dude, I got a truck. Whatever,
Yeah.
dude, I got a truck. But then eventually, if I kept saying it, it kind
Probably
of gets under
would've
your
got to my
skin.
head, yeah.
And you're just like, you're right, it's not a charity pro. Why the fuck did I come out? and get
Yeah.
this? And then something that should be like, and however you want to see it. Some people will say, no, buying a car is not a life decision.
Mhm.
Coming from broke kids like us, growing
Yeah,
up, like that's a big
100%,
decision,
dude.
and that's a big decision.
100%.
So it's like sometimes that's why I like just haters. I'm just like, nah, dude,
Yeah.
I can't deal with this. I'm not gonna deal with it because why do I need that?
Yeah.
I could fight it off, but then it gets exhausting when it gets under your skin and you're just like, oh, maybe I didn't do the right thing.
Yeah. There's no point in having those people around.
Yeah.
What good do they do for you? You know?
Yeah,
If they're not there helping you succeed, why even have them around?
yeah,
But definitely leave out the hikey haters out of
Yeah.
your life.
yeah.
Don't eat them.
Don't need them, don't want them, carry on. And even if like you're struggling to start something, I was watching Gary Vee the other day. I fucking love that guy.
He's a
dude.
cool guy.
I fucking love that guy. He may be a little fucking shithead, and I say it like that just from like the bottom of my heart. 'Cause I love that guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know him, but like the way he talked to this one girl was saying like that girl was like, you know what? One day I'm gonna be someone. That fool was just like, you are someone. I
Yeah.
was like, you're already someone. I was like, fuck. fuck, dude. Like,
dude.
dude, it's so sad that there's so many haters out there like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, so many haters that they let this girl believe she's not worth anything, and
But like you are, you know, like we are, you know, like people like, I mean, how hyped were we when we had our first like 100 views or whatever it was, you know, our first.
I told you,
yeah,
like, it
with our
was
first
so
10 views, you know,
Yeah, it was so
the first
dope.
episode.
I was like, yo, look at this.
Yeah,
Dude,
we were
dude.
hyped when we got like the first 10 views and stuff like that, you know. So it's just like, I don't know, that makes us happy to get to where we are now. Like, we're not big, but you know.
And I'm not even in two, right? Because there's the haters, and there's people that don't criticize. Because that give you a constructive criticism, right? Because I'm all about, you know, getting critiqued and stuff. Like, you tell me what I can do better, you tell me what I can do, or if I'm uneducated in a certain topic that I talked about, oh, you could have brought, because I got a coworker that challenges me a lot too.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you could think this way. And it's like, damn, dude, you're right.
Yeah.
I could think that way. And I love that guy to death, dude, because he makes me think a different type of way. Because obviously, like, I'm so used to thinking this way, and then you get new conversations, and you're just like, think this other way, and you're just like, okay, cool. It just expands your vision instead of just letting it turn into hate. You're just like, nah, fuck. So, don't you haters, fuck you.
Yeah. But the constructive criticism, like, we welcome that, you know.
Yeah.
We welcome that. We value you guys' opinion, and you know, we definitely try to incorporate that if we see it fit. You know? I think my sister, I think she has something for you, bro. She said, well, actually for us, she said, stop calling women bitches.
Did I say that?
I think that one video where you're like, fuck that bitch.
Oh,
she was like, one thing, yeah, you guys probably shouldn't call women bitches. I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
It's just,
But it's not all women. It's
yeah, no.
and it's not even calling that certain woman a bitch, but it's just an expression.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, my girl knows I know. She knows too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take that into consideration.
Yeah. I'll show that to my sister.
I mean,
Probably won't change, but but we'll take it into consideration.
Yeah, I still gotta be authentically myself, but you know,
Yeah.
it's alright. Another one though, dude, ghosters. To me, ghosting, whether it comes to like dating, but like friends ghosting each other at some point, bro, I hate when I start making plans with someone and then you just don't hear from them. To me, I like to schedule ahead of time because
Hey bro, you can't really. Okay.
Say
you kind of have like a. You kind of do that sometimes though.
Say
you kind of do that. I mean, we brought that on last time, and you talked about how you almost lagged on him for his graduation thing.
Yeah, no, I did lag.
Oh, you did lag on him. You almost lagged on the first Zion trip.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about that.
But that's because I tried to make it happen.
But no communication, and you were about to bail, dude. And you were about to ghost us.
And then last minute, I just can't make it happen. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I've learned.
Yeah, you got a lot better.
I've got a lot better.
Now I know, like, if you say you're gonna be there for me, I know you're gonna be there. And, yeah, you made progress.
I've had to make progress. But those are the type of people, just like how you said, like, if I were to lie, how much would our friendship have shifted? You know, with Aaron, how much did my friendship with him shifted? He stopped being friends with me.
Yeah.
I had to prove to him, like, I'm worthy of his friendship, you know? But, like, it comes at a price, and you don't realize it, like, with me, with certain friends that I schedule in advance, sometimes I'll double book, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'll book one in the morning, book one in the afternoon. I'm like, dude, fuck. Who am I gonna bill? You know, but then I know, like, it's playing chess, not checkers. Like, I know that if I schedule an appointment with you and it's in the evening, I'm probably going out.
And why does this sound so like official? An appointment? What the fuck? I gotta book an appointment to hang out with you? This bitch.
If I have to book an appointment, you know, with someone else for breakfast,
I hope you're betting on them to fucking
no,
your appointment with you.
Bitch. I have to play chess, not checkers. If I say yes to both of you, like, yeah, we'll get something to eat, I have to know, okay, this person, if I go to breakfast with them, they'll last 3 hours, then they'll send me home,
Yeah.
and then I can just go in the next 2 hours over here, and then yeah. So
Good to know.
chestnut checkers,
Good to know.
but I don't ghost.
Yeah.
I don't ghost
Yeah,
anymore.
I feel bad sometimes, but sometimes life does happen, and you kind of start going through things, especially as adults,
Mhm.
and it's hard to really keep up with some of those friendships. And sometimes I feel bad because, like, in my other friend group, I'm the one that's known for like never making it. Like, oh, then Rafa's like in all the group chat all the group chats, but he never makes it.
Yeah.
And my excuse is I have my daughter, which is a legit excuse. I have her most of the time, but sometimes I have to like really like, hey, this friendship is like a two-way street. I got to put my
Yeah.
effort to really show up sometimes.
Mhm.
So there's times where I'm like, okay, I have to make it work. I have to show up for them, because
Yeah.
I do value their friendship. But that comes with communication. I'm not just gonna, hey, I'm gonna be there
Yeah.
and not show up. They know, like, I'll let them know in advance, like, hey, I may not be there. And if I can make it, cool. If not, then I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, those people who tell you they're gonna be there and don't show up, like,
Yeah.
yeah, that I hate those people.
Yeah, those are a couple. Damn, they hit hard. Those are a couple red flags, right? That I think, the ghosting, the hype monsters. What is it? The
High key haters.
high key haters, and so on and so forth. Like those are just people you don't want in your corner. People you don't want in any type of relationship.
Yeah.
Honestly, because they can be partners and they can be hating on you.
Yeah.
They can be partners and they can be envious of you.
Mhm.
They can be partners and they're Mr. Know-it-alls. Like, I'm open to my relationship. I'm like,
Even family, dude. Like even
families
Yeah.
are the worst.
even if you have family with these traits, like I love you because you're family. But if you have these traits, like, I'm staying away from you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if we're blood.
Yeah.
Like, just because we have the same blood doesn't mean I'm gonna
No.
tolerate that shit.
Dude, yeah, it's funny you say that because, like, even my party, I thought about it. I'm like, most of my family, like cousins and shit,
Yeah.
they show up,
Yeah.
And, like, it is my fault, too, because, like, I have to do a better job of, like you said, communicating with them because I'm just so, like, out of tune with them. We grew up together, but it's just, we didn't give each other the time anymore. Like, I have a better relationship with you than I do with my first cousins of my
Right.
family, I'm just like, they're like friends too, but I haven't watered that grass. I've
Yeah.
watered more of this grass, and so I'm just like, I'd rather just stay on that side of the field.
Yeah, but it happens again. Any relationship. Like, I've had some of these issues with some of my sisters. Some
Yeah.
of my sisters have been like high key haters. Sometimes I'm like,
You got
okay,
a
well,
lot of sisters. Though.
I do, but it comes at times. Like, if they're hating on something I'm doing, okay,
Yeah.
well, that's cool. I'm gonna still do my thing. You can hate from afar.
Yeah.
But it comes with any relationship, family, friends, partners, whatever it is. Like, it's just these traits that you don't want around you.
Yeah. Personally, that's what I think. Personally, that's what you think. You guys could think otherwise. Like, you guys could like those traits that we talk about.
You guys could have those traits. Okay.
We all have some of those.
Yeah,
traits,
no.
right?
Again, we all have a little bit of everything. I'm a little selfish. It's okay to be a little selfish.
Yeah.
You think I'm a know-it-all?
Yeah, you
Like,
are.
I can be a know-it-all,
Yeah.
but so open-minded.
Yeah.
I'm not stubborn about it like
No,
that.
no.
I hate sometimes on things that people are doing, but I'm not like an overly hater.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. Everybody has a little bit. It's just that balance. You don't want to have too much of those bad traits.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, he's still single. So, girls, ladies, please take him off the market because
What does that have to do with
I don't know
anything?
what to do with him anymore. I don't know. Just
You don't even hang out with me anymore, dude.
Well,
It's kind of
you
sad.
went to San Diego without me.
This is the only time we ever hang out.
You went
What
to
is
San
this
Diego without
podcast?
me. You went to San
Honestly,
Diego
it's
without
so
me.
sad, bro.
You went to San Diego without me.
Were you gonna go?
I would have.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Now we would never know.
Well, are we booking this trip for May or what?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll do that on our own time.
Okay.
But yeah, you went to San Diego. Well, you didn't go with Art, but I was like, man, move, motherfucker.
Stupid ass.
I was so jealous. I was like, damn, dude, this fool's in San Diego, living life.
Yeah, we did that hike.
I was low key hating. Yeah, I remember the hike.
Oh, I see you're a low-key hater. Not
I'm
hikey
low-key
hater,
hater.
but low-key hater.
Low key hater. I was like, damn, dude, I hope he falls.
Now you're a hiking hater.
I know. 'Cause I hope he falls, but I hope he can still drive because of his daughter, you know? So it's low key. Like, it's not hiking.
Mid
Yeah.
hater.
I hope he trips, hits his shin, you know? Like, just enough pain to feel.
Sprains an ankle, but don't break it.
Don't break it, yeah. Still be there for his daughter, but you know, just kind of fall, dude. But yeah, but those are things that we think that that we don't like in other people. Like we don't have in our inner circle. I mean, I this fool can come up to me and go, "Hey, I trust this guy and I trust his judgment because you know the type of people that I hang out with. I know the type of people that you hang out with." But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the top 5 that we think.
And that's what we know. We're very selective with the people we hang around with.
Mhm.
We give our energy to. And again, we try to keep these people away from us because we are trying to go somewhere, you know, and we can't have these people holding us back.
Yeah, 100%. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much for engaging in those other videos. Please let us know your feedback. We would love to know your top 5 red flags in a person.
Don't be a hikey hater, but, you know, again, we like the constructive criticism.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment, you know, engage with us. But yeah, those are our top 5. Make sure you guys don't have these people around you. Make sure you aren't these people.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a wrap.
And that is going to be a wrap with one more thing. Things are going to be a little bit different next time. So please bear with us. Obviously, I know we missed last week. We were just trying to catch our bearings. So thank you so much for being patient with us. But that's going to be a wrap.